Hey YouTubers, welcome back to Wuffenberg Time Bomb channel. Today it's about preparing the chassis for Time Bomb 4. You see I bought this nice Bosch drilling machine with a stand. I think that's the only way actually to get these holes properly drilled. If you try this with a hand driller, the results will not be really perfect. So yesterday I drilled already a couple of these big holes, 27 millimeters. I know this is even actually more for these ceramic tube sockets, and the 27 millimeters for, hope this can be seen, 27 millimeters for the plastic or backlight sockets. And today, actually one mistake I made. Obviously I wanted to measure 8 centimeters from here to here, but I measured 8 centimeters from here to here. So these holes are not in use because here's the choke supposed to be. So this was the only mistake. The rest is pretty good, I think. But these holes are too much, so I had to drill these holes instead, which were the original 8 centimeters. Now yeah, well, that's my first try working on such a chassis. And now today we'll have the front. I spent a lot of work on getting some design here, and where to put the switches and where to put the switches and the buttons, the input jack. But after probably 2 hours of measuring and adjusting and making everything fine and playing around with the design, I think I'm fine now with that. So now the next task will be to have some leading holes first drilled. I'll probably do this with a, let's see, maybe with a, what's that here, 3 millimeter. I think 3 millimeter should be fine. So some leading hole, and then here I wrote the diameter which I actually then need. We have 12 millimeter, 10, 7, 7, 7, 7, 16, 12. For the larger holes I have this kind of Christmas tree here, a small and big one. They work quite nice. I say it's really kind of man's work, because you see the oil starts to, here this cutting oil starts to steam, and there are some what's the name here, these metal pieces, this kind, they start flying around all over the place, and they were even in my socks and they started to itch. So well, this was really a man's work, very funny thing. So now let's try to drill some holes here in the front as well. So this is a brand new thing. I need to just understand how it works. Okay. Very nice. So then let's try our luck eye. I need some support. Funny things are flying around here in my workshop. So yeah, actually it's my office desk, or it's my workshop desk, so it's not really meant for being a workbench really, where you could do such heavy work, but it's just as good as it gets. So let's try. Probably for that purpose I need my glasses. And where are they? They're gone. Just a second. Haha. So I found them. It's just to protect my eyes. Now I look like a intellectual. Yeah. And then the very nice thing here with this drilling machine, we have a laser pointing to the place where I'm drilling, and I already marked the holes with this kind of tool here. So now it's just a matter of adjusting the case, and then there's some holder here in the back where you can clamp the tool. So I'll first try if that would match. Not perfectly. Good. Then I just arrest this clamp here. Ugh. Let's grab the oil. And then once again I start drilling with this 3mm, and hurrah, it's disadjusted again. Not so nice. Yeah. And that's time-consuming process to get this driller here really on the spot. Even with the laser, I mean the laser is accurate probably to 1mm, but I spend a lot of work on having it accurate to the millimeter. So, okay, I think now we're fine. Let's start the fun. Bah. So that was already hole number 1. More to follow. Yeah, actually I think I will work without this clamp because it's hard to get there, and second, still we are on very small diameters, so I'm not afraid that something will go wrong here. Yeah. But on the other hand, it doesn't hurt if you work accurately, then the progress is even bigger. No? Oh, hallelujah, would you please fit here? Okay, let's try our luck. Let's go. There's some sharp edge on this button here. Hallelujah. This is brand new tool, and then sharp edges. Not really welcome. Okay, next one. Tenths of a millimeter. That's. I usually used to work on my cars, and working on cars means usually rather big tools and large wrenches and everything. This one is pretty small, pretty flimsy, so not my favorite work. Wow, that was on the spot, believe it. Or how did they say in Madagascar movie 1? Right in the batteries. So, okay, I'm trying to adjust this laser. Cross straight to the hole, and I think that's fine. Okay, that's good. Hooray! The first holes are drilled. Now we get to the section where the switches are supposed to be. Let's turn the body. Yeah, but then I can't use my clamp. Is that good? Is that not good? What's the cool thing about building amplifiers is you can really be your own designer. You have to work with soldering iron. I mean, first of all, you have to design the circuit itself, the electric part, but then it's also about designing the chassis and the layout. And I know in my forum, my friends also in the forum, they spent a lot of time on then planning where to put the buttons and where to make the layout, where to put the cables, in order not to have any hum induction and to have mostly short cables and to have a clean design. So that's really a nice thing about building amplifiers because you have to consider a lot of you have to consider a lot of things before even one tone comes out of the amplifier. Really starting from the circuit design over chassis design, and even involving some really, as I said, some men's work here. But honestly, I'm not very good with a ruler or with something like that. Where is it? Somewhere here. This tool. This, don't know how to call it. I have really my problems in using that and being accurate to the millimeter. And you saw it here. I mean, whoop. 8 centimeters mismatch. So to tell you the truth, that is not my biggest fun. That's really not my biggest fun here. And I even don't know why. I mean, it's just measuring distances and calculating them, but always something goes wrong here, and that's a bit strange for me. I really don't know why. A lot of times then things come out a little bit different than I wanted. So here I really try to be as accurate as possible. Talking about accuracy. Hallelujah. Okay, let's try. Wow. That is anything but not on the spot where it should be. So what to do? what to do. Let's see. Where is that one? How much is the offset here? Oh, actually. Aha! Oh, practically nothing. Practically nothing. The hole is fine. So then let's just keep on drilling. Anyway, on stage nobody will see if the switch is half a millimeter to the left or to the right. So I think with that it should be fine. It's more the sound that should convince. Okay, that's good. Okie dokie. So we have all leading holes drilled. Let's check if they stand a visual inspection. I forgot one. Haha. Okay. Yeah. Once again, I can work better with bigger tools. And measuring is not my most favorite thing, but that's okay. Okay. And now we come to the Christmas tree. Everywhere these little things start falling already. Stuck under my feet. And lock. Tick. Okay. That needs to come down a bit. That's quite easy here. Turn this handle, cluck, and then then we have two low. Okay, that's fine. So 12 millimeters, yeah, I think. Just not to make anything wrong and the hole's not too big. Probably put a mark on this. I'll just use some red tape and tape it over the 14 millimeter winding, so to be sure that I maximum drill than my 12 millimeters and not more. Where is it? Show me the label. Okay, here's the 14, and this is something I don't want to drill. So I just put the tape over this 14 millimeter. So it serves as some warning for me. If I hit this red mark, then I'm too deep. Okay, so let's see. That is fine. Now adjust the clamping. Opa. Here we need a couple of oil drops already, and then let me check the speed. just want to check that. Now I'm at 10 millimeters, so here's the switch which I'm going to use. And once again, let's give it a try to make sure we are not already too big. Once again, I measured it and we had precisely 12 millimeters. But this one is supposed to be only 10 so far, so it, believe it or not, it fits already. So, now Wolf, what did you do wrong? Because I tried to tape. Aha! Yeah, I see what I did. Luckily I tried out the 14 is that one already, so I didn't tape the 14, I taped the 16. Hallelujah, that's I'm really lucky. I just saved my ass because that one is 12 millimeter. That's the dimension I need here. Wow, I'm lucky, otherwise I would have drilled a bigger hole. Wow. Okay, so then one more hole and I just need to memorize. I should not get to this second mark. Wow. Yeah. As I said, me and measuring dimensions, two things that simply don't work out well. Fine. Just trying to get a bit more perspective here. Zoom. So then this one is fixed. We'll get some oil. Remember not to go on this last ring here. There we are with the 12. There's one more 12 we need right here on the front. So the whole chassis has to be moved again to this direction. Removing these little metal shards here in order not to scratch the back side of the chassis too much. I mean, it will still be painted, but still there's no need to scratch it too much. So, and here I actually now give a shit on using 4mm before. I just straightly go with that. We have a leading hole, yeah, we have a leading hole. Oops. I like this machine, but this clamp here on the back side is, I think there could be a better way to solve that. Ah! I really think there could be something better than this. Fine. Hello, my oil, please. Where is the oil? Oh, it fell. Okie doke. Some drips of oil and 12mm. Of shards here already in this Christmas tree. But no. Always turn the machine off if something's turning and you have long hair. Quite dangerous. Quite dangerous. So once again, hello, little input jack. Where are you? Here. Just want to check. This was 12mm. Yeah. And this one will probably not fit so far. Yeah, precisely. So we give. Actually, this one is, I think, it's probably an American size. Yeah, because it's 11, so I can either choose 10 or 10 or 12. Let's see. If it's 12, I have the feeling it will shake. So maybe I just leave this on 10 and use a file a bit later on to open this, because it's really only 10.8. Yeah, let's leave this as 10, and then I just have to manually increase the diameter a bit. And now to the biggest holes for the lamps, indicator lights. The problem is here in Russia, they call the tubes, lamps. And they would call an indicator a magic eye, they would call indicator lamp. But of course indicator lamps are then rather these things. And even so I sometimes mix it up by saying, or by calling the magic eye then an indicator lamp, but it's the indicator tube. So this one is 15 point something, so I said 16, okay. 16. For 16 we need the next level here. Okay, 16. So this time, let's try to get it right. What is 16 here? 16 is that one. So the upper two are not to be used. Okay, 16. And just to be safe here, this reads 16. Okay, beautiful. Alright, let's continue with the 16. Oh, voila! The 16 millimeter. And I guess this length will now fit. Yeah, beautiful. Same here for the second hole. Wow, that was a good match. Bingo. Okay. Yeah. Turn it. Okay, no, it's fine. Some oil drops and we go. Yeah. Oh, and one more, which should be a 10 millimeter. Okay. Yeah, once again, this is not my biggest fun here. It's a lot of dirt, and the problem is you cannot go back once you did something wrong. It's done. Yeah, I mean, it's a circuit design. If you mess up something, then you could easily revert or use another component or anything. Even if you blow up a tube, you say, oh, who cares, I just take another tube. But here with this chassis, I mean, I see it with these two holes here. I drilled them and they didn't belong there. Yeah, but there's nothing you can do about it. They are now there forever. So, concentration again, we need 10. Where's the scale? They are not. Okay, here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okie doke. ladies and gentlemen, we have a new champion. I hope at least. So, okay. Okay, let me first get my vacuum cleaner and then polish this a bit, and then we need to use this nice tool here together with the hand battery driller and just break these edges with a 90 degree or with 45 then from this side and also from the other side, because from the inside you see there's still a lot of sharp edges and they need to be removed. Actually, I can't even work from inside with my driller, with my hand driller, so luckily I have a tool, something like a grinding tool, which I can use. Okay, so I'll shortly get my vacuum cleaner. So after a little cleaning session in the workshop, I'm now ready to basically grind the edges here a bit. I'll try with that one. Not sure if that is so nice. And this one here. No, that's okay. No. Got to use my protection glasses. Okay. This tool could have maybe a little bit more. Hallelujah, stay where you are. So the reaction with my foot. Okay. I think that's okay. Here. Yeah. And now from the inside. Yeah, I think I'll work through this side so I have the maximum power from my right hand. But we need to fix this thing. How? Maybe use one of these clamps. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Fingers are a bit greasy. Oh. Yeah, but I also need some space to work. So Yeah, and this thing's in the way, so there's always this kind of surprises when you work with mechanical things. Well, that could be better. Tja. Not so perfect to say. But here almost no chance to get there with a tool. Oh, hallelujah. Yeah, that's almost impossible. No, that calls for a file. I can't really get my hands there, and this clamp is hindering me. So clamp, please. Need you at a different spot. Okay. This is where the potentiometers will come. And we need to be careful that we don't have any of this little metal remains then falling into the potentiometers. That will surely cause them to scratch and to wear abnormally fast. So that means cleaning this chassis is of high importance. Before we put the things inside. Tja, and now we have to work without this clamp for the last two holes. Yeah, that's a good working angle. So I can put a lot of pressure here on this thing. Oh, I hear some aluminium coming off. Oh, ouch. Tja, I have no better idea than to use this tool here. Aua, I'm scratching my fingers here on this hole. That I will operate with a file. Okay. Okay. So let's now work with that one. Okay, anyway, these holes will not be visible because there will be this indicator lights, indicator lamps, however you want to call it. They will come inside. But still I like to remove this. And working from here is pretty dangerous, because once you accidentally pull it out and you with force you press it back, you have easily scratching the surface. So that is a thing which needs to be worked with a lot of care. And guess why I know this? Because it happened quite a few times to me. See, I just pulled it out. Especially here, because I have not much way to work this file into the chassis. So I can only make very small movements here. Okay. Let's have some sort of test drive here of the components. The big switch, where we were lucky not to drill the hole too big, will get into this position. It's just some sort of temporary tryout, nothing too serious. This one and this one. I think it goes better with the right hand. Yeah, but of course, this the best thing of the amplifier. I forgot this protector here. I like it so much. What's this way? Yeah, I like it so much. Kind of protector looks so cool. As if you're really igniting a time bomb. So come here. Ja, Halleluja, was ist denn hier los? I'm screwing and nothing's happening. Why not? Okay, finally we have some progress. Okay, so number one. Maximum cool. Number two is here. Come on. So this switch is lacking the screw which comes from underneath. Actually I have it somewhere, but I don't know why. So this why it's standing a bit. It's standing a bit up, but don't worry. And then an indicator lights. Indicator lights, indicator lamps, however. One goes here. Yeah. Oh, 2B, stay where you are. And then, hallelujah, where is the second one? Oh, there. So that will be the standby switch. And the red one will be the main switch. And once again, this chassis will be sprayed like all time bomb amps in black mud. Unfortunately, these indicator lamps, I think they're pretty cheap Chinese crap, so I'm wondering if I can get any better quality here. I even have one in yellow, like a traffic light. Cool. Okay, the input I cannot yet plug, I need to use a bigger file. Then we have the pots here, and just to 1, 2, the silver are for tone control. The black one will be the black one. Hello, the black one is the master volume, and the golden one was golden G like gain here. So that's looks pretty good to me already. Looks pretty good. I really like this so much, these pilot switches, like ignition sequence initiated 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wolfenberg, we have a liftoff. Cool. Alright, so thanks for watching. That was a little bit of metal man's work, as I said. I'm now continuing with that one, and then I have to think about some layout for the backside. I want to have 2 output jacks for speakers so that you can connect 2 cabinets, maybe 1 line out. Then the impedance selector, the power supply, the fuse holder, which I don't have at the moment, and yeah, so that starts then the work again from the backside. So now let's continue preparing the chassis. Yesterday evening I drilled a few more holes on the backside with my standing drilling machine, and now I made here I put up again my little makeshift paint box. Actually, it's standing right in my living room. So it's just a cardboard box. It's just a cardboard box, and I use it as a little painting cabin. So I applied already a first part of primer to this chassis, and probably one more thing, how to use this kind of spray. It's rather easy. First, of course, I mean, this is probably basic for most of you, but just in case somebody wants to try it the first time, make sure these bottles are somewhere at room temperatures. Shake them well for roughly 2 minutes. You hear these little metal balls inside, so make sure the paint is well stirred. And then try first one testing spray here on the, let's say here on the side. I did this so you have a feeling roughly how much paint comes out, and what is also the direction of the paint nozzle on the front. So in that case mine was vertical. You can also change this, turn it, then it makes horizontal, but here I think this way of applying paint is fine. Second thing is, or third thing is, when you start painting, make sure you start to spray when you are, let me see if I can get this camera, make sure you start spraying when you are not already on the thing you want to paint, but you are somewhere left of it. So you start spraying, and then you just gently wipe over it in one short move without any stops. Make sure you don't apply too much paint at the same time, because then you will have nasty drops and noses. Give it then a little bit time to dry, and this is just black primer here. So I'll just show you usually how I would do it. So I start here on the left, and then just one quick move here, second move here. And that's fine, that's enough already. Then let's have it dried. Actually, I also want some paint here on the front, on the top. So for that purpose I have to move the whole thing up. But it's always a good idea to wait. This paint dries really fast. You can see it here, the wet spots disappear really quickly, so it's just a matter of 1 or 2 minutes waiting until you can continue. Of course I could turn now the whole thing and continue painting, but I did this already on the sides, so I'm actually waiting to finish off with the front. So let me just make a short stop here. Okay, I turned it and it's now resting on these two little wooden pieces so that it doesn't touch the surface of this cardboard holder. And once again we try, we just apply more paint. And you see I really apply very few amount of paint this time, just to make sure I don't have any of these paint noses which can really ruin the whole design. Now let's turn it. Yeah, I see a part which I could not reach really, because you have to hold this vertical. If you hold it like this, there will be no paint coming out, so that's a spot which is really hard to reach. I will try my best. Anyway, it's not so important because it's the inside of the chassis, so nobody will see this when finished. And I think this looks already pretty good. Just give a few more finishing coats of lacquer. Actually, it's not the final paint, it's just black primer. But it already looks pretty good, so I could almost think of keeping it just with a primer. But God knows what this primer, what qualities this primer does have, so I'll just apply then later some more coats of final paint. Here the same again. So let's give it a little rest to dry, and then I will apply the real paint here. Emal Alkitnaya, whatever Alkitnaya means. Alkitnaya. Oh, gloss finish. Gloss finish. Okay, this is strange. I didn't want to have gloss finish. This was filler. Yeah, okay, cool. I mixed it up. This was this was a primer, so I started with primer and then I mixed the bottle. Now I mixed primer and hallelujah. Now I mixed primer and this is primer Grund and the final paint. That's why it looks so good already. Okay, so let me just check what we have here. Gloss finish. Well, this looks rather matte to me. It's strange they say gloss, because gloss I would interpret that it shines. Okay, good. So probably it's a wise idea to have both spray cans a bit separate from each other. Anyway, I think that's more or less okay now with the primer. So then I will just apply 1 or 2 more coats of this final paint, and then we should be ready to take it out, let it dry, and put some, then I think I'll put the tube sockets inside and all the switches on the front to have a first view of how Time Bomb 4 would look like. Alright, stay tuned please. So that is now the one of the final coats of the real paint, not the primer. I already took it out, checked it under some better light. It looked quite good. But I just probably applied 2 or 3 more coats of the paint. So just to be safe that nothing comes apart and it remains a solid coat of black mud lac.